I was listening to Diversity in Comics Do America by Gabby Rivers from 2 years ago. Holy cow, America Chavez was the peak of SJW comics. Let me just say this, though. I'll include the warning in the description. Not safe for work, foul language, so be warned. It was the comic where America goes back in time and punches the Austrian corporal, but blew a operation where the Allies were trying to capture or kill him because Gabby Rivers is an idiot. People in Zach's comments were saying only Gabby could make the Austrian corporal look good. And that's when I started to think about things. You have Antifa, CNN, and the rest of the media, social media, far-left college professors, all saying how bad the fascists are. But I look at Antifa, and I've come to the conclusion that their enemies are the good guys. Antifa is a violent, racist group that wants an authoritarian dictatorship with no human rights. The Nazis, in quotes, want free speech. So who are the bad guys and who are the good guys here? And that's why I'm in trouble with our masters at YouTube. That's why I pulled the video I put out the other day. It was a little too red-pilled, too many dog whistles. But when the platform has such strict rules of censorship, all we're left with is dog whistles. YouTube removed one video for hate, and I will occasionally remove videos if they are too spicy. If they get too many views too fast and it's spicy, it may mean that the video is going to get me in trouble. So after a day, I'll just unlist it because everyone who had the bell rung already saw it, so it's not worth having somebody report it. Anyway, I saw the new Star Wars character was a chunky black girl with a huge afro, which got me thinking about doing an issue about this new character. But if the topic is roughly the problem with POC characters in Star Wars, there's no way to not get kicked off YouTube, or more importantly, hurt people's feelings. The problem with having diversity in Star Wars is it no longer feels like it's in a galaxy far, far away. It just feels like Earth. But there is no way to make that politically correct. It's why the newer Star Wars doesn't have the feeling of immersion that the original trilogy had. But then, why did Lando work? Okay, guys, get ready for it. The reason Lando worked was because Lando was cool. I know that it sounds weird, but that's the simple reason. And that's the difference between Star Wars in 1980 and modern Star Wars. The people who worked on Empire 40 years ago had talent. They could include Lando, and it didn't take you out of the movie. But modern Star Wars is completely incapable of doing this because they don't have talent. They have agenda. You can't write a fun story and write propaganda. It's even harder when you don't have talent, and I know some of you are fans of Roundhead Johnson or Big Nose Abrams, but they don't have anything near the capability of the people who worked on the original trilogy, and they are trying to write propaganda. It's an impossible task. The Force Awakens grossed $2 billion. The Last Jedi grossed $1.2 billion. But Star Wars 9 is probably going to gross $2.5, $3 billion. Nobody is going to boycott it. They just want to see it put behind them. And some people want to see it just to see how bad it is, myself included. So on paper, these new Soy Wars films will be a success, and the Shilling for Shekels media will give them good reviews. But Rotten Tomatoes' good reviews won't make it a good film, and modern Star Wars have zero rewatchability. You can watch the original trilogy 40 years later, and they hold up as well-done, simple stories. Nobody is rewatching The Last Jedi. That's why it grossed $800 million less than The Force Awakens. One thing to look at is to see how well post-theater sales hold up, and we shall see. So then I started thinking about diversity in Star Wars. Does Star Wars need more diversity? Yes, of course. Why aren't there more LGBT plus characters? Are you telling me that in a galaxy far, far away there are no trans people? I think it's time in Solo 2 for Lando and Han to come out as trans and in a relationship with each other. And the Wookiee. Or maybe the Wookiee will be an intolerant Republican. He is orange, sort of like Trump. The Wookiee could object to their sweet, sticky love because Chewie would follow some intolerant patriarchal religion that will be an obvious analogy for Christianity. They will constantly humiliate the moral, uptight Wookiee with his old-fashioned belief system. If you're looking at the screen, these are supposed to be sexy demons from hell. And you can tell they're sexy demons from hell because they have no breasts. And they're kind of just soft and flabby looking. Anyway, I want to see plenty of deep kissing between Han and Lando. they will simultaneously discover that they need to fully express their feminine sides, so they start matching their outsides to their insides. They put on dresses, lipstick, and eyeliner. If the actors have any problems with the on-screen lip locking, they'll just have to suck up their prejudices, among other things, and get over their preconceived notions of sexuality. Isn't one of the authors named Dongliver? It seems like karma. They may have to up the rating for the type of film that I envision. NC-17 will allow us the freedom to fully explore their lesbian passion. I imagine lots of hot, hairy girl-on-girl action. I don't feel that in current year there is any reason to expect women to shave their beards and mustaches. Women come with hair, bigot. A 6'2", 200-pound bearded woman is every inch a lady. Yes, wrong thinker, women have penises. Get over it. Just because she has a third leg doesn't mean she isn't a woman. Star Wars came out in 1977. It's time to modernize it. Think of Mos Eisley, but in terms of human and alien sexuality and body diversity. Though actually, Star Wars did have body diversity pretty early on. But why didn't Jabba and Leia have a sexual relationship? What do you think that huge tail was for? Obviously, they are in an open BDSM relationship, as shown in Jedi. Maybe in Solo 2, we could see a more graphic relationship. It's time to explore interspecies erotica. With Jabba, lube is pretty much a given, so I want to see the full depth of Jabba's love for Leia, explored to the deepest levels. And somehow, they should find a way to incorporate that little bird creature. Some people were a little unsure of the robosexuality that was introduced in Solo. But really, what's the big deal? A robot is just a vibrator or a sex doll. Maybe a robot is just the natural evolution of a sex doll. Though now that I think about it, why don't they introduce robots that actually look like beautiful women? Seems odd that they would have a sex robot that looks like a robot. But maybe they are subverting expectations of human robosexuality. I mean, really, in the future, there is no reason you couldn't have an intelligent ambulatory dildo that flies around the lead character as a plucky sidekick. Its weapon could be that it shoots a sticky, viscous substance that gets all over the stormtrooper's mask, blocking their vision so the good guys can escape. And seriously, why aren't the stormtroopers pink, or at least have pink highlights? The pure white is just too toxically masculine. Where was I going with this? Ah, yes. Lesbian Han and Deep Bottom Lando will fly from planet to planet where they explain to people that not to give your children hormone blockers literally makes you Darth Vader. If Darth Vader came out as trans, it would have probably released a lot of his inner turmoil. It's true that Vader did kill a few billion people, but to be fair, they were probably transphobic and deserved to die. We can have Han and Lando fly to Chewie's homeworld, the one in the books where they have those cool tree houses. I know it's no longer canon, but I think where we are going, we won't need canon. It's a shame that we have to dead name Lando and Han, but it would get confusing following the characters if they're in makeup, wigs, and change their names. I guess at least we could feminize Lando into Landa, but really gendered language is also problematic. Maybe Landex is more appropriate. So Landex and Hannex try to convince the Wookiees to give their children hormone blockers so they will stay cute and adorable and Ewok-sized and easily groomed by Landex and Hannex. But the bigoted, close-minded Wookiees aren't having any of the humans' degeneracy. Our heroes in high heels decide that the only way to free the Wookiees' minds and save their children is to put hormones in the water supply. While Landex is sneaking up to the water supply, Hannex is opening up a space portal to an alien race who the Wookiees have been at war with for the past 1,000 years. As a part of the aliens' rich and vibrant culture, they kill the Wookiees and stuff their bodies, turning them into works of art. The new Wookiees are flooding the planet, killing Wookiees wherever they find them. The new Wookiees kill and mount the young Wookiees to use as footstools. A underground Wookiee resistance forms. Their goal is to make Wookieeville only for Wookiees. They mass deport the new Wookiees to their planet, Bumfuckistan, then kill and stuff Landex and Hannex, putting their bodies in a museum as a reminder not to let these Fruit Loops on their planet ever again. The end. Like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys next time until YouTube kicks all of us wrong thinkers off in about 2 months, I believe, is when it's going to happen. So when that happens, I will see you guys on an alternative video sharing platform.